What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video, we're going to be doing what if Europe went back to their World War II borders. I did include Spain getting a little bit of Morocco, but France or Britain doesn't get any of their old colonies in Africa. But the reason why I did that is because, well, they're pretty much, Spain's pretty much just connected to this. But, yeah, so we have, Italy getting the little chunk back. You have Siberia getting all of this. And yeah, so you just have a lot of different countries looking very different. And we've lost some countries, which is perfectly fine. But, guys, sorry that I haven't posted in a little bit. I don't know why this looks like this. I did actually draw this map myself, I think you guys can tell. It's not the best, but, you know, it's not that bad either. Because I'm actually not the best drawing maps. Like, I'm good at drawing borders, just not, like, redrawing borders. But we're going to go ahead and have probably Germany. They're probably going to take an aggressive route. But right now, we're going to focus on Italy. Italy's going to do something. So, Italy's going to be a little bit aggressive. They're going to be like, okay, since we're back here, you can either do one thing. You can either give us all of this, or we push into you. Hungary does not really like that, so they go ahead and form an alliance with you. Yugoslavia. Don't ask questions. Oh, that's not supposed to be like that. Sorry, one second, guys. So Russia also did get their old Soviet Union borders back, but that does not include these guys because this is before World War II. This is like 1934. And as you can see, they also have their old borders. And big Russia. So, yeah. Okay. But, yeah. So, Greece and Turkey, they're looking at each other. They're like, I don't really like you. And they're like, and Greece is like, well, neither of them really like each other. So, they end up, Albania doesn't really want to, like, the Albanian government doesn't really want to become one of this, like, join this, like, thing. Well, the people don't, and neither does the government. But the Greece government is threatening them. But Turkey says, you don't have to join it, we'll help you. And they don't. And this is immediately going to lead into another war, but we gotta get rid of this. And Italy now knows that they're not going to be able to win this war because, well, yeah. So they're going to have to call in an ally, but they don't have any allies. So they go ahead and don't declare war on these guys. They just put that. And instead they declare war on Albania. So yeah, Albania doesn't have a choice. They don't really... Yeah, they don't really get much land. But now you have naval landing happening in Albania. But neither Greece or Turkey wants, well, Turkey, obviously they're allies with Albania right now. But Greece, they want that land, so... Oh wait, I was coloring these guys the wrong color, my bad. Okay, so this quickly turns the war around. But Italy, they're doing some aggressive stuff, and Germany, they're focusing on growing their economy right now, and then they're gonna blast through a couple countries. What? I didn't circle anything, guys. I'm not circling anything, guys. You don't have to worry about Austria and Germany reuniting again. But at this point, you gotta remember, Italy's kind of strong in present day, and they didn't lose any of their army. They just gained land. Like, their old borders just went back to that way. Like 1914 borders. And, like, the economy that comes with those borders. But, yeah. So, Italy is able to push down the coastal line from their navy, with their navy. And eventually they are able to slowly cut off a very important trade route. Sorry, guys. Trade route. We'll say trade route. But it goes right through here and supplies the front line all along there. So that's very important, and Italy just cut that off, and that makes some very important movement, which leads to Italy slowly starting to able to collapse Albania. And their main goal is just to take out this chunk of land, because then they'll be able to hold the front line here and slowly push along the border, cut off Greece and Albania, and then they'll win the war because they can surrender Albania, and then Albania will eventually lose. But what they don't expect is for Greece to eventually, well, Turkish troops to get there. Gotta remember, Turkey has a very large army, and they're able to push back the Italians, and also they're also able to take back that trade route. And now you can kind of see that, well, it's not going so well for Italy, so they definitely need an ally. Oh, I mean Africa. Okay. They don't have any allies. Because this immediately goes to the collapse of, like, every single alliance in Europe. So, like, just pretty much every single one. The European Union was the first to collapse, then NATO. But, yeah, it's not going so well for them. Okay. So, something I do need to get onto another war. So, there's another very important trade route that Italy is looking at. Well, it goes through Yugoslavia. I can't say it. You guys know what I'm trying to say. No, I'll just say Serbia, because, you know, it is Serbia. But, the trade route, and they're using that actually to, send troops into here, because they're actually sending troops, and, like, they're sending, they're also sending over, like, military stuff, and that's helping Albania and Greece and Turkey. But if Italy can just cut off right there, because they don't want to take the border yet, they don't want to, like, just completely take it, but if they can take the front line right there, then they win. So Albania realizes Italy is eventually able to push back a little bit. They fully surrender, but a little bit of pushing back happens after that push. But don't worry, it's special Turkey Day, not Turkey Day. But you know what I mean. So they are eventually able to take this, and it looks like this, and they are able to hold out. The Italian government is feeling really good about this, because this makes them able to cut off all supply lines from Yugoslavia. So close. So close, guys. So close. But at this point, it's starting to look like Albania is just going to collapse. The top front does eventually surrender because, well, it was literally just, well, they were just kind of being starved. But eventually, Italy is able to push out to here. And obviously, there's still a lot of support coming in. And another Turkish army is just getting pushed up. And Italy eventually gets stalemated at this front line, until they make a very important naval invasion. This was like, Greece had no idea that this was coming. But we're gonna say that Greece built an important city right here. Okay? And it looks something like this. Sorry, so yeah, the city looks something like that. And the Italians, well, this is like their new capital. Greece just moved their capital there because the Greece government, well, yeah. Anyway, let me just bring that back. Oh, wait, no, I can't bring it back, guys. That's gone. Okay. But now you have, some of the city end up falling over to Italian troops, and that's now forcing most of Greece to surrender, because, like, a lot of, after the capital was captured, they were kind of defenseless, because the government was captured and then killed, but that wasn't so good, because, well, yeah, that kind of ruins the whole point of Greece, because, you know, Greece. Also, guys, thank you so much. I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video, but thank you guys so much for 30 subscribers. I really appreciate it. Very big accomplishment for me. I've been trying hard for a couple months, and the work's starting to pay off. And I just needed to thank you guys. But now, Albania goes ahead and collapses. Obviously not all of it, but the troops surrender, and that leaves the front line getting pushed back. Because, well, that's not good. And at this point, since Albania is collapsing, Turkey's about to leave the war, and Greece knows that they're not going to be able to. And they're kind of losing the war to the Italians. You know, this usually doesn't happen. But eventually, Albania loses, Greece surrenders, because they were losing so many troops also, and Turkey got out unscathed. So, now, with this happening, you have, Italy taking all of this, right? But then they end up just going ahead and taking just a bite out of Greece. But see, they looked at Turkey and they said, "You want any of this?" And Turkey was like, "You know what? We will take a bite out of Greece." That's exactly what happens. And they pretty much just leave it up to anybody that wants some land, just to take some from Greece. Greece ain't so happy about that. Bulgaria and Hungary both, not Hungary, Turkey both take some land. And yeah, it's not looking so good for Greece because they're losing some massive land. And then Yugoslavia takes some land also. And guys, don't think this is accurate, because obviously nothing's gonna happen like this again, because literally just World War II borders just magically appeared, and, you know. And there we go. So now you have, a decent, you have Long, and this is now Italy. But, you also have some tensions rising between Hungary and Austria. Nothing really happens between those tensions. But something that does happen is Germany decides that they're done being peaceful. And they go ahead and, well, they declare war on Switzerland. And this is, Austria is kind of putting a point where, like, what do we do? And surprisingly, they were able to strike from a river that both, Germany, Austria, and, Switzerland both claim. All three claim, not both. But this leads to the collapse of the Switzerland's bunker, like, the bunker of Switzerland. And And at this point, Switzerland starts to realize, oh, we're gonna pretend like Germany just invaded Liechtenstein. And at this point, it's not looking so good for them, because Germany is moving troops in, and they are surprisingly able to move through the mountains easily. And it is reported that one German man literally just walked in on an elephant, shot a couple people, and now he's a general. And that general is leading the invasion of... This campaign is called The Fall of Switzerland. And it is actually named that, like, in English and everything. And actually, this does most of, like, the rest of the work, this campaign. And these two front lines are not actually able to meet up for the rest of the war. This front line is eventually able to be held up by Switzerland, and this side does end up eventually collapsing. But this is where Big Elephant Man, and most of the people in this man's army is actually on elephants. Switzerland is able to push back a little bit on both fronts, but that's not before Elephant Man goes to the front line and pushes back. And with Switzerland looking like this, they just decide to surrender. And now Germany, they fully annexed Switzerland, and, well, France ain't so happy about this. And France and the UK both decide that it would be smart if they go ahead and form an alliance. So, we have our first actual alliance, like a real alliance, that other people can join. One person that quickly joins it is Czechoslovakia, because Germany's now starting to be aggressive, and they ain't so happy about that. And Germany feels attacked. Obviously, they're not gonna ally with Italy again. They know how that went last time. I didn't like the pink color, but no one really joins it for the next little bit until Spain does. I'm gonna change that, guys. Until Finland does. Yeah, nope, that's... Oh, dear. Okay. Until, well, Austria just decides to join, their father, Germany. And, well, let me just think quickly. Ireland joins. Yep. That works. And they now so France says surrender Switzerland, like give Switzerland up, and we'll give you the Sudetenland, which is like that. And Germany says okay. But they give it up, like, in quotations, like, they don't actually give it up. They're going to go ahead, and they're probably going to take... That is not proper. I'm going to change this. I didn't realize how bad that was until I started to color it in. Sorry, guys, give me a second. And there. So Germany finally says, you know what? Okay. And Czechia didn't even have a choice in this. They just had to give this up. This is a little bit better. Not fully the Sudetenland, but something like it. Poland's starting to realize that this is somewhat like World War II, and they're trying to apply for the Yellow Alliance membership, but they keep on rejecting them for some reason. You know, it's kind of like they want to start another European World War II. But just Germany has different beliefs, and they even took a chunk out of Czechia's land, like, no, where Slovakia was supposed, where Slovakia would be. So yeah. Now they do have to surrender Switzerland. They're fine with that, because it never said anything about making them a puppet state. Also, they didn't fully give Switzerland back. They kind of crippled Switzerland. So now they're kind of forced to become one of the Orange Alliance members. And Germany just says, and they put a new government in Switzerland, and they said, okay, no matter what the yellow people ask you, always just say, we chose to be in the orange team. They didn't, but, you know, but, Italy goes ahead and decides to apply for membership in the orange team, and they say, they say straight up, yes, you cannot join because you remember World War II, right? You trying to recreate that? No. It's just, I know how that went last time. They said, you know what? That's fair enough. And now the Orange Alliance, they're kind of going on an attacking spree. But we don't want to focus on just the Orange Alliance, so that doesn't happen for now. We're gonna have Switzerland go ahead and declare war on Finland. And if you guys want to see this into a series, like where I just turn countries, like not countries, but like where this like continues. But yeah. But something happens. Germany, they go ahead and pushes. Well, not Germany. Sweden, they push into Finland. And, they end up taking some land. But the Finland army, they are still strong. But all they gotta do is finish them before Russia can. Russia quickly, not Russia can, but Russia can join. But, Russia quickly joins. And they are not planning on being gentle with Finland this time. They quickly take back some Russian areas because, well, they have Russian people in there. And, you know, Russian people, Russian government. And we're going to say the Russian people are loyal to their government in this video. I just going to need to fix that up. Sorry. So, now with Finland having to fight a two-front war, they're starting to break under all the pressure from all of these countries, because the two-front war, it is not going so well. They know as soon as Russia and Finland meets up, the war is over. And they really don't want this war to be over, because if this war ends, well, like, it might be over, but, like, they're pretty much going to be screwed. So, now with it looking like this, with the two front lines end up meeting up, they do start to push down, and they do have to put a lot of troops on this border, and they've decided to hold out the front line here, in this little blob. And the reason why is because Russia can take everything else, and same with Sweden, but as long as they don't get their capital, which I believe is like right here. Let me check that for a second. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Yeah, it's right there, actually. I'm pretty accurate. It might be just a little bit lower. Like, right there, actually. So, yeah, that's their capital. And as long as they can hold that off for 1 year, then they should be able to win. Obviously, Finland is able to push, like, at least hold up a little bit more. But exactly what they said, Finland might collapse. But what they've been dreading is their navy starting to fail them. Their navy has been pushed back to their shoreline. And it is not looking so well for them. But up here, it is like... Actually, no, their navy's like this, actually. They only have 2 lines, like, of blocking. And eventually, a couple naval invasions are able to be made. I need zoom fully in for this, guys. By a couple, I mean 2, but they're big. They're not small naval invasions, they're big naval invasions. And they make some encirclements here and there. And actually, the Swedish government bribed the Russian government by saying, here, we'll give you a lot of land as long as you just join this war. And they go ahead and say, okay, to the Russian government. Well, the Russian government says, okay. And Finland, they know that they're about to collapse, and Germany knows that too. Because Finland has been sending over so many requests just to just to join the Orange, and then you guys can invade them. But see, Germany doesn't really want to do that because Germany's focusing on their economy still. Obviously, they've been doing a little bit of warring here and there, but Finland has now moved it down to here. As long as they can hold it there. That's pretty much what they do, except for in this area. This area collapses pretty fast because they've been facing major fighting on that end, and it is not looking so well for Finland at this point. But their biggest mistake was trying to hold the front line off here, or like something like that. Oh no, it was like this actually. It was like trying to hold the front line like off like that. But that was their biggest mistake of this war. As soon as they did that, that was the end of the war. Finland was able to hold out like this for 2 more months until the people started like surrendering over to the troops. They were, and actually the Russian and the Sweden government treated people that just give up really nicely. They take them into their own country and like everything. But after 2 months, they only had 3 days left until they would be able to choose what they lost. Like they would have a say in what they lost in this war. But they weren't able to last those 2 extra days, or however, like 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm gonna change it 2 weeks. But Russia, they were able to take a very big chunk. Because at this point, like, as soon as it hit here, Russia did most of the work. Actually, everything that's encircled, Russia did most of the work. So, like, all over here. Wait, no, that's wrong color. Okay, so, like, all over here, they go up, and then, like, they did most of the work in there, and most of the work right here. Sweden did the rest of the work, so they're probably going to get that land, and Russia's probably going to get the rest. But, Russia does end up getting a little bit more, but they get a little bit more on top. So, Russia now looks pretty big, and same with Sweden. This actually forms a new alliance. It's called the Sweden-Russian Alliance. Yeah, I know, weird. Okay, yeah, so I just gotta read. Oh, sorry, guys. I messed up the map. So I just gotta redraw the map. Oh, sorry, 1 second, guys. There, I fixed it. Wait, no, I didn't. 1 second, guys. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties in real life. Sorry about that. There we go, I fixed it. Okay. So there. Yeah. And now with the new alliance forming, Norway does want to join, and they are eventually accepting to joining, but they did have to give up a little bit of land to both countries. And that's their policy. If you want to join our alliance, then you have to give up land. Russia took this chunk of land because it secures this little land here. You don't have to give up too much, but you just got to give up some. If you ever leave this alliance, then we'll invade you. I mean, I can see why they would want to join it, because they have two strong countries now on their doorstep. But Finland gives up, not Finland, Norway gives up that land, and that's about it. They don't really give up much more. But like I was talking about, Germany doing Germany stuff. They go ahead and quickly, very quickly, invade these countries, like very, very fast. So I will show you how fast. Okay, so they go ahead and push through these guys pretty fast, and Belgium is able to hold out because of the yellow team supporting, like sending up support and that stuff. But I actually need to change this color. 1 second, guys. Let me just... Yeah, this will work. So, this is now Germany's invading color because it's a little bit less yellowy. They eventually fall, and eventually it just... So, Luxembourg and the Netherlands fall. So, now, Belgium, they end up collapsing because they knew that it was over. But, Germany, instead of taking so much land, they kind of did what they did in, they kind of did what they did in Switzerland. Made a buffer state. So they just literally just took a chunk and definitely just let them decide if they wanted to join the Orange Alliance or not. It's not the biggest buffer state, but at least it stops, like, British troops from, like, going into just Dunkirk and up to Germany. Because if they take Germany's land, then Germany has to take it back. But see, if they can hold it back at the border, then they don't have to do it. So, they now don't have that many strong nations in their alliance. They have Ireland, like the main two countries are Ireland and Germany. And Germany is the strongest one. Germany is probably like the third strongest, probably outmatching France in this. So like Germany, number 3, number 4, number 5, no, not number 5, number 2, number 1, and then number 5, that's 6. Number 5, numbers. Actually, wait, no. Let me change this. Number. Oh my gosh. Number 5. Number 6. So these are the top 6 countries in Europe. You have Russia in 1. Oh, oopsies! I forgot to uncolor these guys. Russia in number 1. Poland. Britain in number 2. Germany number 3. France in number 4. Poland in number 5, and Sweden in number 6. So that's the top 6. Italy's probably our top. Actually, no. So Poland's top 6. So top 5, top 6, top 7. So like that. Instead. Sorry, one second. I forgot to uncolor Greece in this color, so just give me a second. Boop, 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 boop. There. Okay, so now you have Turkey. They're looking to expand their land, and eventually, well, also Turkey. We're not gonna count Turkey. I totally forgot about Turkey. Turkey's also very strong. We're just gonna put them up there. But just pretend like that whole ranking thing never happened, because I forgot about Turkey. But they make a claim of Belgium that this land should be theirs. Actually, I don't like that. I'm gonna go ahead and change that. It goes up a little bit, and then it goes. They make a claim, and with the orange team on their side, Belgium is eventually able to, like, not Belgium, why am I saying Belgium? Bulgaria. They are eventually like, you know what? It's probably just going to be smart if we just give them this land, because we don't want to fight a war that we know we will lose. But they just have to pay a lot of money for this land, so they pretty much just bought it for a lot of money. But now you have 3 major alliances. You have the pink, the yellow, and the orange. The orange is now getting rapid appliances in. And as soon as Germany put troops on their border, like Poland border, oh my gosh, why? Sorry, give me a second, guys. Why is there, why is China in pink? China's not pink. We're not doing Asia or North America. Sorry, one second, guys. I need to find, okay, I found the hole. Sorry, guys, I'm having some technical difficulties. Oh my gosh, why is that back up there? Okay, there. I fixed it, guys. China's not pink. We're gonna just be focusing on Europe. But as soon as Germany lined troops on the border of Poland, they went ahead and said, you know what? Poland, you can join. Because before that, Poland wasn't any threat, and they didn't care. And now, this goes ahead and leaves Germany letting Spain join. I'm not going to let Germany make the same mistake that they made in World War II with letting Italy in. Sorry, guys, I have to sneeze. It might not come out, but I'm getting over a little bit of a cold. It was going around in my school, but yeah. So, instead you have Germany invading these countries, and the Pink Alliance ends up joining them. Germany is probably going to get a lot of land out of this, and same with Russia. Germany's probably going to get a lot more than they did in World War II. So Germany ends up taking a chunk out of, like, here. And, one second, guys, I need to make a new color for pink. And the Russian troops, they were actually able to do something in this war. Yep, surprising. And this is what Germany claims why they were putting troops on their border, and that's why they should kick them back out. But as soon as they said that you should kick them back out, they knew that Germany was lying. They're like, you know what? Poland, you can stay. They're like, thank God. But Germany's taking some islands, and eventually, this is what it looks like after a month. They were able to last a month, not half bad. Probably because they were having support from the yellow team, but don't know how they would really get up there. They're struggling. But see, now this is where some border disputes are going to come in, because Germany thinks that they should at least be able to have, like, something like this. No, not like that. I messed that up. Germany believes that they should be able to have, like, something like that, because, so they can connect up. But Russia just thinks that they should give this whole thing up. But it would be expensive, but it would take a while to get these troops back down here. So, obviously, they have decided that, it's going to end up looking like that for Germany. I'm just kidding. But, it doesn't look like that right now. We're going to go ahead and fix this up. It looks like this. So, German troops take this. And the Russians have to give up some of their land also. So I feel like Germany ended up losing more. Well, no, actually. I feel like it might be about equal, actually. Or Russia lost more. It's either equal or Russia lost more. Most likely Russia lost more, though. So I'm looking at it, and Germany's looking... They're looking German-like. I'm not gonna say good, but they're looking German-like. Okay, so now you have Germany, no, that's the wrong color. I meant to press pink. Okay, so now you have Russia and Germany bordering each other, and we know how that went last time. But Germany's starting to look at their borders and be like, huh, it's kind of ugly, isn't it? And Russia's like, yeah, it is. And they're like, you know what? Pay us a lot of money, like over $1 billion, and we'll give you... Actually, I'm gonna change this. I don't like this. We'll give you all of that. And they say, you know what? Okay. They say, name your price. $1 trillion. Russia goes, huh? And you know what? Russia pays it. For one very reason, because they stole the money from Poland. Yep. You heard that right. Because there was a train route coming through here into Poland during the war. But right here, Russia intercepted it and stole it. And there was there was a lot of money worth on that stuff. They don't know where this stuff came from, because they know it didn't come from the Balkan region. They just know that it came from somewhere, and they don't know who sent it. They feel like it's Finland, not Finland, but Finland people that aren't so happy with the new government. But now, you have Germany they're kind of stuck now. Because now that they're stuck, they can't really push into Yugoslavia, because then Hungary will join, and they'll have to fight a two-front war, and Romania will most likely join on the side of Hungary. But once again, they have Germany on their side. Well, not Germany. Oh my gosh, they are Germany. They have Turkey on their side. But, yeah, they don't know what to do at this point. They're like, okay, we can either go to war with the yellow team, or we can go to war with the green team, which we might lose, because the pink team has really good relations with them. Well, some bad news for Germany. Italy just joined, and that left Greece to join the orange. Yep, they set aside their differences with Turkey, but something interesting happened. They ended up, during this war, all of their islands, like all of these islands, just ended up, like, they just never ended up, no one claimed it. Like, so all of these islands just is nothing. Like, there's nothing on it. No one claims it, so these are literally free islands, but no one claims it, because they just, I don't know why. But now with another, like, European Cold War happening, Denmark decides to join Germany. So, they literally collapsed in matters of seconds, I guess you could say. And Germany knows that they are going to be struggling with this war with the yellow team. So they tell everyone to dig in for a very long time. And everyone just starts, like, the orange team, they are now focusing on their economy. And the yellow team, they're focusing on their military. But Germany is kind of like the leader of the orange team. What do you guys think I was going to draw? You guys know I'm Jewish. Yeah, I would draw that. I'm Jewish. Also, that's very racist, and I could get banned. But you know. So yeah, Germany. There's very smart leader of this Orange Alliance, because they tell Turkey, Spain, everyone just to work on their economy and then build up your military. So right now, so at 2039, no, not 2029, they decide that's when they start building their military. Then they'll take another 2 years, and that's when they build up their military, and then they go ahead and invade the yellow team. But in the meantime, Spain ends up leaving, because they're like, no, I'm not sending this through. But in the meantime, Italy, the yellow team, they do some expanding, and like, same with France and Britain. We're only gonna, yeah, actually, we'll focus on the coast. So Britain, they're focusing on like the coastal line of Africa. And when I say the coastal line, I mean like they are actually focused on the coastal line. I just colored. Oh my gosh, I just colored in the water. There, and then yeah, that's about it. They also, so anything with a red dotting, Britain declared war on. Anything with a here, one second. Let me just draw all the red dots. Anything with an orange dot in it, France declared war on. and anything with a light blue dot. Italy declared war. There we go. I got it. So, yeah. They now both have, like, all three of them have wars. These are guys that are kind of locked in, because, Germany, they've cut off, like, this, because, Sweden, they've let them take control over this water, as long as they don't tax any boats that come from Russia. Don't know why they didn't say also Norway or Sweden, but, you know, maybe, well, no, I guess they can still tax them. But, yeah, so they cut off, like, old trade routes, so they're kind of suffocating, Poland, but they can't because Britain said if you do it, boom, 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 boom. Also, I'm going to say that nukes were never made in this, world, but you're gonna have a couple countries immediately falling over to Britain. That's these countries. This is gonna be the Yellow's invasion team. That's very little difference. 1 second, guys. Let me just go ahead quickly change this. Sure. There. So this is now the new orange invading color. And this is now theirs. So all of these countries just fold right over to Britain. Because, well, they knew that they weren't really going to win this war. So, you know, why lose the men? Why lose the men? But Morocco and Egypt, they don't give up that easily because, well, it's Morocco and Egypt. They aren't so weak anymore. But Morocco knows that if they lose their coastal line, then they're done. Obviously, they have lots of support down in southern... I don't know, actually. Wait, give me a second, guys. I don't know this one. I know it, it's just... I don't remember it. And now with the coastal line gone, they've pretty much surrendered, but obviously they're still fighting. Britain just doesn't really have that much more of a point to go into them. But they're kind of scared of invading these countries because as soon as this happened, they realized, huh, we might be dead. Because they are starting to realize that, well, with their troops not in their countries anymore, they could be massively hurt to the point of no returning, and that's not good. Oh my gosh, what just happened? Where did I miss? Oh, right here. Okay, so right here and right here. So, this slowly starts, these countries slowly start to fall over to Spain, but now you have the Italian troops reaching in, and they end up also taking the rest of this. So, Libya, as soon as their capital was taken, they surrendered. And then this was the fall of the last country. And Egypt. Egypt was told, okay, you give us all your coastal line and the Panama Canal, then we will let you live. And they said, you know what? No. It took 2 days for Egypt to collapse. And they lost 10 So, they had 199 not 109 million at the beginning of this war. They went down to 59 million in 2 days. There were some war crimes committed in Egypt. Some serious war crimes. But, their army, they got, if they don't have that many people, please correct me. I just asked my Google how many people they have. That's how many they said. So if that's wrong, then, well, that's wrong. Then they only lost 10 million, or just keep on going down until the proper amount. But I know they don't have, 100,000, so guys, don't correct me and be like, it's only 100,000. I know they have more than 100,000. But, yeah. So, France, so, Italy does end up getting one of the countries that they end up that France ended up declaring war on. But once again, Italy's doing that weird thing where they're trying to recreate the Roman Empire. Just honestly, Italy, just accept that it's gone. It's gone. And once again, this is pretty much forced to become it's like what Germany was doing with some countries. It's pretty much forced to become an orange country. But yeah. France, they take this, and Britain, they take some old territory back. And we're gonna say that this took most of the time that Germany needed for their plan. So all of these countries that literally just collapsed in matters of days, which was all of them, was pretty, well, all these countries that collapsed in matters of, days, maybe hours, some of them hours, well, they're all a part of Britain now. So Britain got the most land out of this war, and lost the least amount of troops. The one who suffered the most casualties in this war was Egypt. They lost 50 million people. If you're not telling me that didn't hurt, then you're lying. So now they have support, definitely, a year. So they probably control, whatever is being circled, they control of the Mediterranean. So they control all of that. Yeah. And they want to push that back. Well, the orange team wants to push that back a little bit. And they end up getting Israel to join. And, okay, I'm just gonna, yeah. So that ended up pushing them back to here, because... So nukes just became very big bombs, we're gonna say. And now that they're onto their, we're gonna say that that pushed them back to there. But, actually no, we're gonna say that this straight up pushed them hard, all the way back to here. Hard. So like that. But, some of these islands just magically disappear. Don't ask me how, I don't know how. By some of them, I mean, most of them. I guess rising sea levels and everything, but, who cares about that? Obviously I'm joking, but, this ended up pushing them back to, that. So they now control that. Everything past this line of the Mediterranean. And see, if they really had Spain in there, if Spain comes back to them, they'd have it. Portugal joins the yellow team, and Spain's like, hey guys, can I join? They say yep. So now it's looking like this. So everything encircled, they have control of the Mediterranean. Spain actually did a very big hit on them. So yeah, now they do not control the whole of Mediterranean. They've lost a big chunk over here and a chunk over here. So yeah, now Germany's plan is complete. They have an alliance that can hold off some countries, and now it's time for their master plan. This violates some peace treaties with France and Britain, which they did before in World War II. But you see, now, well, they kind of just violated a peace treaty. Also, they demanded more land from Czechoslovakia, and Czechoslovakia said, sure, what's the harm that could be done? Even though Britain and France were saying, don't do it, don't give them this land, don't give it to them. By some, I mean they gave them a lot of land. Like, don't even ask me why they gave it to them, because I don't know. They were not being that smart. Okay, there. So now, Germany, they have a lot of, they've lost a lot of, not Germany, Czechoslovakia, they've lost a lot of land. And they thought that this land that they just gave Germany was going to end all these wars and everything. No, it just meant the end of you. Because, well, time to coloring Germany all red. And, all of their allies red. And all of... Here, just let me zoom out for a second, guys. This is probably going to be a very large war. And, here we go. Yep, guys, it's about that time that these guys go to war. Oh, I totally have to color in all of these. So, now you have a couple countries left in the middle of this. You have Russia wanting to join the blue side, but Sweden wanting to join the red side. Norway just wants to stay neutral. Yugoslavia joins the blue team on the cost of Italy taking away these little claims that have been here since the beginning of the video. Hungary joins the red. Same with Romania, and Bulgaria joins the red because they lost some land to Hungary. So now Europe is in a pretty much, we're gonna say Europe war, a full continent war, except we're just ignore Russia and the cold countries. Just ignore that, and then you will know the good Dutch countries. Okay, so you have troops immediately entering Poland, and you gotta remember, Germany and their allies are a lot stronger than they were at the beginning of the video. Actually, we're gonna say Germany's gonna take it slow and steadying Poland, because they want to just hold off the Polish people and then push into them fast once their allies have collapsed. But Czechoslovakia, this is one of the countries where they're going to be pushing into fast because they have pretty much control over the whole country already. First country to surrender, Czechoslovakia. But the mountains are actually really helping Germany, because, like, over here, because if there was no mountains, they would have lost a lot of land to Yugoslavia and everything. But Hungary wasn't as lucky. They did end up losing a chunk of land to Yugoslavia. But since you do have Romania and Germany right there, you have Yugoslavia losing a little bit of land at the same time. Bulgaria, they kind of regret joining this war at all because, well, they're kind of squished in the middle. They're squished, like, right here, right? They're losing land to Romania, and they're losing land to Turkey. Neither one is good. And some Greece people, they're rising up on the Italian government, so, because they don't want to still be under that control. We're just not really going to focus on this front line, except for, like, the actual front lines. We're not going to pretend like... We're going to pretend like naval doesn't exist in this war, because I don't want to do naval stuff. I hate doing naval stuff, guys. They're able to take some, like, come on, I know it. Israel is able to push the British out of the Panama area and take over the Panama Canal. Oh, that voice crack. Sorry, guys. I've been having a lot of voice cracks, guys, so sorry that happens. And it breaks your eardrums because of cracking my voices. But Israel is eventually able to take over that, and that leaves British morale down in Egypt not so strong. A very good encirclement happens over here for the Germans. Like, it's really good for them. They end up taking a chunk out of, like, they literally just encircle some major French troops. Actually, they aren't just fortifying like, the French, they aren't just fortifying the Maginot Line. They are also supporting over here now, too. So it's like that now. Germany sees two weaknesses in their front line, once again, all the way over here. And now they have Switzerland, that they can go through Switzerland and, yeah, push through Switzerland. That's not so good. Those guys eventually fall, and what is one of the bloodiest battles that is going to happen? Dunkirk Part 2. But it's even more aggressive, because there's, like, mass bombing. Anything that you see... Oh, yeah. But anything you see in this color of green is mass bombing. Like, well, like, actually very big bombs. They're actually, like, 2 pixels, which is wild. Germany actually has air support, like air naval air support. They have the air. They control the air, which means they're gonna win this. Because as you can see, the British are able to get some, but Germans, that doesn't really affect them. They just, because they're not really back here. The ones that do affect them is up here. But the British, they're having, and the French, they have people over here, because the British, they're sending people over here, and then they're getting bombed. And one single plane, they were able to make it onto the British Isle, over the British Isle, and bomb a little bit of Britain. Yeah, that's not so good for them. So, guys, as you can tell, Britain, they're about to collapse. Germany, they're taking back their land, and, well, they're pushing back harder than they did before after this mass bombing, because, well, morales were really down. Over 10 million troops were just killed in that, because armies, they've been, like, people have been having a lot of babies lately. And, well, no one's fleeing their country. Flee your country so you don't have to do military service. Because the men and the women, anyone over the age of 13 are going to war. And that's how British and Germany are both getting so many troops. And actually, with Dunkirk falling, you have a lot of bombs dropping over here. But this was all they were able to get over to. Nothing farther than that. So, Germany, they are finally able to break like through this front line. They weren't able to do much, but like they were able to break out of the Switzerland stalemate. That's what it's called, Switzerland stalemate. And a massive invasion happens. Like, they were just, Germany sent anybody, like, just random people. They just sent little kids strapped with bombs on them. Like, anyone that would be willing to do it, Germany would send over and be like, please help me. They act like they needed help, and then they blow up. Don't ask me how Germany got people to do this. I'm not even sure how they got people to do that, and I just created that. And that is the most gruesome warfare that has ever happened. That alone killed another 10 million. And that wasn't just, I'm not even including troops. Because if they, at one point, the government, when they captured Paris, the government was held by one of those guys, but the bomb didn't blow up. So the government almost got shot because of the French's army. But France, they're eventually able to push back, and they are able to take back Paris because it's not 1940 anymore. They aren't as weak as they once were. But the reason why is because Germany removed some troops on that front line. Actually, also, surprise, surprise, Poland, they're doing stuff. Yeah, they're pulling off stuff. And, well, they were able to push into Germany. It's because they're just holding off the front line. They were actually able to push Germany back, but they were able to push into Germany, but it's mostly because they were able to, because they're not focused on this front line. But now you have Hungary able to push back. The Slovakians or whatever, and then finally you have Germany and Hungary both able to push into Yugoslavia and taking a chunk out of it. And now you have a very bloody battle happening at a city right there, and right here. The red team ends up winning all of them. And this is what the Italians say was what might be the end of the war. That's what they like to say. Like the Italian army, they like to say that as soon as they lost those 3 cities, it was the end of the war. They were about to give up as soon as they lost those 3 cities. because those were major, like, they had a lot of, like, supplies in them and a lot of troops in them. But all of them fell in a matter of 2 weeks. No, 3 weeks, sorry. 1 week per each city. And what the red team calls it is the days of the captures. Yeah, they aren't coming up with such good names for these. You have a cutoff and Bulgaria, they end up falling over to the red team. That is able to be held out, but with them collapsing. This is why the Italian troops like to say it was the end of the war. Obviously, the war isn't over, because, like, we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe the blue team is just going to, like, punch back really hard. But, at this point, it's starting to look like the red team's going to win. But you gotta remember, these guys, they did end up, the British sent some more troops over, and they were able to surrender Greece, and yeah, like, they were able to surrender those 3 countries. I didn't mean to say Greece. Why did I say Greece? But over here, Spain ended up losing this little piece of land, but what they didn't lose was Portugal. Portugal, they were holding out strong for a little bit until the front line snapped. And when I say snapped, both armies rushed in, but one had, like, knives on the end of their guns, and that was Spain. That's how they won this battle. They were also able to push into France a little bit, so now France is fighting a 2-front war. Actually, no, a 3-front war, because there's 3 fronts. 2 on Spain, and 1 very big one. Still, Italy and Germany, they aren't doing actually much fighting because of the mountains. The most fighting between Germany and Italian troops are actually right here. But finally, one Christmas has passed. And this is where the Germans learned from the Canadians. What they did was they would send over a can of beans when they wanted to have peace into the other person's trench, right? And then they would have a very powerful grenade that would literally blow up the trench, and then it would release gas. And then the Germans would release massive amount of tanks, and this is how they took back Paris. The Germans, they are not playing nice in this war, and that's why Poland is not so much invading them anymore. They're trying to focus on their mainland, like just taking back their mainland. But the fighting, that's only happening in France. The fighting has stopped here, and that's about it. Everyone's fighting. No one cares about Christmas. They just want this war to be over because of the mass amount of wars. But eventually, Poland was able to surrender back this, and this actually went pretty well. So well that they ended up stopping that Christmas peace, ended up being able to push into Germany. And now Germany knows that they're going to start to fall over here, so they go ahead and pull their troops out of Poland, and, well, Germany was able to do it. Well, Poland was able to do it. They were able to take they were able to push into Poland. Like, other Polish land, like, before this random thing happened. They're also able to take some old Polish land also from here. And now, but they know that they're going to have to start digging trenches. But one Polish general, he puts knives on the top of their, on the front of their guns, and they push it. And that actually helps all of these guys, and they end up able to get all of these guys to collapse. And Russia's looking at Germany like, what is going on, buddy? You spent so long. But then they look at France, and they're like, oh, okay, I see. And now you have all support being cut off from Britain, and France surrenders. And they sell a whole bunch of countries are now just collapsing. But now you also have a little bit more invading of the red team. Yeah, the red team is getting pushed into. Everywhere else, Christmas is over. Everyone's like getting ready for war, because Christmas is about to be over. They do end up giving up this land. That's their Christmas gift. I don't know why, because they actually just said, oh, you can have this. Because the Serbs, they ain't that smart. They just gave up land to the enemy team. One day, it took. One single day. It took to kill 1 million people. And ain't that, it's not as impressive as the 2 days that the British have killed 50 million people in Egypt. That's like scary at this point, honestly. But now this war is now probably the most bloodiest war, because we're gonna count Egypt's deaths, because, well, they've now, they said as soon as Egypt got invaded, that's when we declared war on them. We just didn't make it official. So it's probably over like 100 million deaths already. And now with the Italian border collapsing. Also, guys, if you guys do want to see this into a series, I will just bring it back to like the before, and then I'll add another continent to it, and then we'll like add on more and more and more, and you get to see more than just one continent. And now with Italy starting to collapse, this is how they said. This is what the Italians said. They said if they lose Rome, then they surrender. If they lose 1 million troops, they literally sign peace. No, they'll switch sides. But if they lose both, then they're blowing up their own country. Yeah, that's gonna happen. As soon as they heard that was gonna happen, like they heard one Italian soldier talking about that, and they're like, huh, I guess we gotta take 1 million troops and take Rome. And, well, it actually goes pretty well for them. They push down. They're at 500,000 right now. And by the time they hit Rome, they're going to be at 1 million. And they've hit Rome. They're at 1 million. They're getting their bombers. They're getting their bombs ready. And then it happens. it starts. These are the biggest bombs that the world has ever seen. You have 4 pixel bombs, bruh. Like, I don't know why they weren't using these bombs, but they claim that they were just made. So, and like I said, they are bombing their whole country, including any colonies that they had, which is like this. And they, for some reason, they don't bomb the other troops. Like, they don't bomb, like, any red team troops. And they end up bombing a whole bunch of, like, very important areas. But then they eventually stop in their colonies because they realize that they're gonna run out of bombs. And the Italian government said the reason why we're doing this is because if we can't have this land, then no one can. 2 seconds later. Oh wait, no, isn't Rome down like here? Oh, we'll just say that Rome's up here. Boop! They're gone. Literally, they were blown up after that speech was made. Literally 3 seconds later. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. Because, well, the Germans, they were helping them. But then Italy told them to stop. This is our job. And they said, oh, okay. And Britain's just looking at them like, we were sending over troops. Why? They said, because, well, you were in our government. We can't have this land of no one. Oh my gosh, our government was crazy, wasn't he? Britain just says, yep. Well, it's too late to stop. They're like, no, you can't stop. No, please stop. And, you know, how you can tell that the Italian government was crazy? So for one, it bombed its own country. For two, it also ended up selling guns and bombs to, well, not selling, giving bombs and like just armies, like just gave them troops and guns to the other side. Yeah, I don't think their government was that smart. So yeah, everyone's just shaking their head at the Italian government, being like, what is wrong with this guy, bruh? Like, somehow he was the only man that survived that explosion, and he was accepted as a war hero in Germany. He met the German government. What? How? I didn't mean to make that shape, guys. I'm pretty sure you got no Germany back at this point, honestly. Because, let's be honest, as soon as Italy did this, it ended the war. Obviously, not all of Italy surrendered, like not the colonies, but as soon as this happened, it was the end of the war. And now, Yugoslavia decides that, you know what, I'm done. I should have never joined the blue team in the first point. Honestly, you would think they would have won. No, you probably wouldn't, but there's not only 2 countries holding out. Their colonies do end up collapsing over to the red team. Except for the Italian one. That guy is still somehow ruling that and fighting them. But there's some weird stuff going on in this universe. She's accepted as a war hero in Germany, but he's still fighting. He's still fighting them in Africa. Or his son is, I don't know. Whichever one makes you guys feel better. But now, it's starting to look like Germany's going to push into Poland very hard. Yep, they just launched one of the one of the bombs that they got from one of the no, not nukes. I keep on saying nukes. One of the bombs that they got from Italy, right there. That was a train that had a lot of money on it, and a lot of money, a lot of supplies that was worth at least $100 billion. Yeah, that just collapsed. They still have that for a little bit because, well, no more British, no more Poland equals no more war. Because Britain knows that they're screwed as soon as Poland falls. And now that the done with this war over German army is here, for some reason it made the army stronger. Also probably because morale is very high after Italy doing something. Maybe bombing their own country or something, but they surrender, and Britain, they are forced to surrender also. I totally forgot that they were over here. They were able to eventually send over troops, and the reason why they surrendered is because Ireland was able to make it into Scotland, and they surrendered. Yep. So, now, Britain, they're kind of done with this. They're kind of disappointed, but everyone understands why this happened. Now you can have very powerful Germany, but